Hello and welcome everyone to Let's Play Tomb Raider 1 Remastered. This is guys 115 speaking, and let me welcome you to my most favorite level of Tomb Raider 1, Palace Midas. We are gonna get all 3 secrets, get our hands on all 23 goodies, and get this, we are gonna finish off 43 enemies. This is the level with the highest number of kills in Tomb Raider 1. In case you don't enjoy Tomb Raider's combat, you're probably gonna have a bad time, but it is so much better since they reintroduced the Meteora role into Tomb Raider 1 via the remasters, and there are a couple of breakaway tiles here to keep in mind. We will also be unlocking all 4 achievements specific to this level. Well, one of them not necessarily specific to this level, but this is the earliest unlockable. But 3 of them we are going to unlock in our Let's Play proper, and 1 of them when pursuing the unique deaths to this level. And my god, are they a treat. So why is this my most favorite level of Tomb Raider 1? I love any level that has a central hub with side dungeons around it that you can explore in order you see fit. Now I'm going to show you what I consider to be the most efficient order, but I'm just in love with it. First of all, there are Palace Gardens on the left, there is a bit of a labyrinthine column-y structure to the middle, and then to the right is a forking path for 2 more sided dungeons, right? It just doesn't end. It's brilliant. And it is also a level where the myth of King Midas will be put into practical use. I don't think we will get many such good examples up until, Tomb Raiders 4 a Waterweights puzzle in the very last level, the Temple of Horus. But I love it when a myth is turned into a puzzle in Tomb Raider games. I am absolutely in love with it. Now, why am I going here? I am going to explain, and 1 more should just about do it. So it takes 2 shotgun blasts to bring these lands down. We essentially find ourselves in a huge sprawling aqueduct area. Okay, it has 3 levels. It has the very top, it has the middle, and it has the bottom. The thing is, even though it might look like it, you're not going to reach the middle or the top from the bottom. You can use these rocks surrounding it to get down, but that's not particularly efficient. We are going to explore the bottom, then we're going to find ourselves at the very top, and then get to the middle and continue on with the dungeon, right? And it's just going to be a cool moment when we return here, and you'll just learn to appreciate how interconnected the level is in all its areas. Now, let us bring down a couple of more enemies, and to be honest, the bats are responsible for bringing up the kills count so much. Absolutely. Oh, and by the way, unless you're doing a no pistols challenge like I am, do not waste magnum ammo on bats, just use your pistols, right? But here I am, I committed to what I consider a really fun challenge, and that is to not use pistols anymore, with the exception of 1 single enemy later on in the game, towards the end. For reasons that will become obvious at that point. Okay, should take about 8 to 10 shots. I think 8 is enough if we hit with all of them. So again, I appreciate every single ammo pack because of the no pistols challenge I placed upon myself. By the way, this is not tied to any achievement or anything like that. It's just something I like to do to keep the tension up, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. So, we're done with the bottom aqueduct floor, and we will revisit the aqueduct. But first, I would like us to take to an area that actually makes me really sad that the patch for Tomb Raider Remasters that's currently in development by Aspir and Saber is not yet implemented. And those of you who have played the game on Epic Games Store will know exactly what I'm talking about. First of all, let's get rid of a couple of Vengeful Harambes. If you run up close to these guys, you should, in theory, take them out with 1 shotgun shell. Doesn't work 100% of the time, but it's fairly reliable. So this area really makes me sad that we're not playing with the patch. In the original game, there would be a ceiling like this, with no real source of light. In the remastered, they would give us this circular hole in the ceiling, just like above the pool, to give us some rays of light, right? To explain that. However, in the Epic Games Store version, up until a few days ago, you could see this entire area being open sky and seeing trees and rocks in the distance. It was actually really beautiful, but it was just an in-progress dev build that should not have been released. They have since rolled back that version to what we see here now on Steam or PlayStation or I assume Xbox. I actually only recently started playing the good old games version of the game as well, so I'm able to do comparisons between GOG, Steam, PS4 and PS5, but not more than that, nor do I plan to. I think that's quite enough. So this really makes me sad that we didn't catch a glimpse of it in this here Let's Play. However, I do plan to tackle the so-called Mysterious New Game Plus mode, and I'll talk more about that once we unlock it. And I also plan to tackle the time trial achievement and pistols only run, and I'm going to make appropriate videos. Not yet sure if with or without commentary. At least the New Game Plus I plan to do without commentary, but hopefully by that point the patch will be out, and we'll see just how much more beautiful the Palace Midas and perhaps other levels will be, right? I can't wait to see what they have in store for us, although at the same time I'm a bit sad that this was not implemented since 14th February. It sounds like they were really crunching and didn't have enough time to do it, so they made sure the game is at least playable, and honestly, most of the areas look visually striking anyway. Now, I would like to make a perfect run and not fall through these stone columns, and then we are approaching our hands on a little joke played by the devs in the original Tomb Raider 1, and that is this here so-called unreachable large medpack. So this was placed here back in times of original Tomb Raider 1, and it was considered unreachable because the devs themselves at the time didn't know about the corner glitch. So this is something I have not yet talked about, I believe, but if you align Lara 45 degrees and keep just doing standing jumps, she will eventually, remember, every standing jump moves her a couple of inches forward. This is something I explained in my Lara's home video. She will eventually sort of morph into the wall next to her, and since that's an illegal position, the game will reconsider her being above the illegal position, meaning it will propel her up. You will get that large medpack, and also you cornerback achievement. Now I'm sorry that it's not popping up on the screen right now, because I was recording this just a few minutes ago, and then my dad called me about an urgent phone call. We had a long discussion, and I realized I'm still recording and I didn't want to use the footage, also with the phone ringing and everything. So this is me re-recording it, so you will not see it live, but the moment you pick up that medpack, you will find yourself being awarded the cornerback achievement. Now, important thing, I have intentionally avoided this tile over here because this will trigger the beautiful Tomb Raider 1 theme. However, just like happened to us in the caves level, or in the city of Wilcabamba, I would then immediately interrupt this theme with a different theme, and I don't want to do that, so I'm going to keep it for later. Instead, let me explain the gist of this room. You will see that there are multiple rooms with omegas and I think jotas or yotas, or I'm not even sure how these are pronounced in English. I know the Spanish pronunciation. But you will essentially need to match the lever combination to the door combination and it will unlock, right? Omegas essentially means that you will leave the lever alone, or the switch or lever, still not sure how to pronounce them, please let me know in the comments. Whereas the other symbol means that you will press the lever. So, if we want to open this door, and I would suggest we start with this one, all we gotta do is open up this one, okay? And that's it. The door is now open. Wonderful. And you can absolutely drop to get out, but if you don't want to repeat the jumping stone pillars challenge each and every time, you can open this place up from the inside. And you will have a free access here from now on without having to do the jumping challenge, okay? And now, the moment we enter this room, we'll be presented with a fire challenge. Oh yes, let's see if I can do this perfectly. Okay. Tilting Lara as she's jumping extends the overall trajectory, meaning you should be able to do those running jumps. And there we go, we did it, didn't even get cinched. So let's pick up our prize. It is rather underwhelming, it is a lead bar. But the name of this level should give you a hint what we're gonna do with lead, what alchemists of old have been trying to do, and what the builders of this place managed to pull off and presumably somehow not destroy the world's economy. Okay, now, important thing. In this pool over here, there'll be a couple of rats swimming. So first of all, let's take a picture. Oh, they're just adorable. Well, no, they're as large as attack dogs, which is a bit creepy. But I want a shot where we'll be able to properly see them. But in the original graphics, it's a bit dark. Let's see. Maybe like this. And let me zoom in closer on them. Yeah, I guess this is the best we can do, really. So, there's our new enemy type. And like with every enemy type, there should be a new death associated with it, right? So here's the interesting thing. These rats swim on water surface, meaning they are never gonna get you on ground, and even if you swim under them, they are harmless. They are not able to swim down like crocodiles. Only if you're on water surface, these things are a danger. If you let these rats kill you and nibble Lara to death, you will not be awarded an extra count to the 36 deaths we are trying to collect. I think the devs have forgot about this. I have tested this both on PlayStation 5 and Steam. We are currently at 21 deaths. By being nibbled to death by these guys, we will remain at 21. And the same thing happened to me on PS5, okay? So, even though this is technically a new death, it's not one that I'm going to show you because it's pointless. It doesn't really count towards that count. However, there is an achievement where we need to set Lara on fire and then douse her. Tempered Lara, catch fire and put it out with water. This is not the only, but it is the first opportunity to really do this, okay? Now, let's dispatch these guys before they nibble us. Although when we're outside the water, they really can't. And there should be a third rat coming around the corner. So 2 magnum shots is all that it takes. Okay, and there is a vengeful Harambe over here. I just hope we can get the jump on him and not the other way around. Nice! We're shotgunning these guys really efficiently so far. I'm very happy about that. And we pulled off the fire challenge on the first go. And of course, burning to death is a new unlockable death, but we're gonna get to that after the end of the Let's Play proper, okay? So, now you might be wondering, should we open that door next? No, I highly recommend you skip it, and you instead focus on this door over here, and we should do the final lever and the one before the penultimate. Okay, so that's straightforward enough, and of course, we need to put the first switch into its default position, because it had the Omega symbol at the beginning, right? And you know what? I'm gonna use this opportunity to also trigger the Tomb Raider theme, and I'm not gonna talk about it, just out of... not gonna talk through it, just out of reverence. I really didn't want to speak through that theme. I just, you know, holds a very special place in my heart. So by now you probably understand what the gist of this room was, and that was to first extend these pillars, jump on them, and I guess the biggest pitfall, literally, is Harambe trying to push you out into the pit of spikes, right? So we couldn't let him have that revenge, and that's why we used shotgun. That's the most efficient thing. Do not panic if he doesn't die from the first blast, immediately keep firing. By the way, cool thing about photo mode is that if you forget any of these combinations, you can just, rather than, you know, placing Lara here physically, you can use photo mode to travel to the door and check it out. Ah, it's so great. Okay, so now we want these two switches, and the first one is scratched out, which I guess is supposed to be an extra challenge, so that just means trial and error. But what really is supposed to be here is an Omega symbol, meaning the first switch will remain unpressed, I guess. So now the penultimate one and the one before, that's the only switches we need to press. And the third challenge room of this place is really rather interesting, because rather than being a self-contained room, it's actually gonna take us on a sprawling adventure across the entirety of this level. It's incredible. The more I play Palace Midas, the more I love this level. Okay, so let's just do this. And the first switch is in its original position, meaning we are good to go. So, let's drop down, we will not take any falling damage, which is simply wonderful. There we go. And this one is really interesting. I do like what they did with the individual challenger rooms in Tomb Raider Anniversary. I think they are far superior to the original. Now, our objective here, strangely enough, is to essentially get over there. And how are we gonna do that? Well, by destroying this entire pillar and causing a collapse across the room so that we can then use the rubble. Wait a second, I've seen some flickering geometry. Interesting. This piece of geometry is a hint that the room will change. Interesting how that works. We probably should not have seen that. Anyhow, we have the option of going up or down. We of course want to go down because this is apparently the base of the pillar. The moment we take it out, just listen to this beautiful noise. There's something so immensely satisfying about it. By the way, in case you're interested, this creates a vacuum underneath the base of the pillar, which of course makes no goddamn sense, but there's nothing in here, okay? Just the same texture applied. Yeah, I feel like we should not really have been able to see it, but there you have it. They could have limited the room to prevent us from doing that kind of motion with the block, I think. But anywho, not important at all. Look at all these little openings to give us light on the stairs. I appreciate that. Okay, and there we go. By the way, I don't think we've saved yet. Oh my. I am risking a lot, aren't I? Okay, I think I'm serious about keeping the saves count on the 50. For the achievement, by the way, you only need 86 or less, but I don't know, there's just something about the number 50 that strikes me as particularly appealing, which is why I'll suffer. So we are in the same room, the pillar is semi-destroyed, there's all this rubble on the side, we've seen this piece of geometry flashing here, and yeah, essentially now we can reach that area. Imagine if the room would have collapsed in a different way. Lara would be absolutely screwed. But, to be fair, the original position wasn't very helpful, so she could only gain in this situation. I get what she did that. No reverence for ancient places whatsoever, is there, Lara? Okay, so... let's see it. Are we at the top of the aqueduct? We indeed are. I promised you we are gonna find ourselves at the top. We've already scoured the bottom, there are the two dead lions, and middle is where we wanna go, but not before getting our hands on all these beautiful kills and a secret. Beautiful kills, what is wrong with me? Okay, so 2 bats, 2 gorillas, 2 crocodiles. That's the name of the game here. How are you still alive, sir? Oh, there we go. Much better. And there should be a sneaky gorilla right over there. There are no goodies to be picked up on the outskirts of the top aqueduct floor. All this is about is all these optional kills. And if we do decide to see where the water from the aqueduct goes to, or maybe even comes from, this could be the source of the water, who the hell knows, we're gonna find ourselves in a very awkward to navigate cavern. However, if we persist through the awkwardness, we'll be awarded with a secret at the far end. So there is a trick to this. Sometimes I fail, sometimes I make it on one attempt. And that is... oops, okay, I didn't do this time, but make sure to land on this one, then jump immediately. Make sure to stay on the, well, from this perspective, left side of these slippery tiles, because otherwise, see how high they are? You might not be able to make a standing jump across, okay? So do it on the left side of that, and then slide here for your reward, magnums and a small med pack. That's essentially it. Not much else to it. We can now return to the top aqueduct floor. I'm really happy that we did not yet take damage. Well, I mean from the fire, but not from any enemies, and the fire was kind of intentional for the achievement. Now, there are a couple of ways we can get down to the middle level of the aqueduct, but why not do it via the most rewarding way? Yep, and that's a secret. You will take some minor damage here, but it's almost invisible. And now shotgun shells, magnum clips, and a small medpack. Awesome. Can we shoot at Harambe over there? I'm not really sure. Oh, he runs away. That actually makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I prefer magnums here, not shotgun, which might seem a bit counterintuitive. And on the side over here, there should be a small medpack. Okay, and 2 more gorillas. However, we need to make an extremely dangerous jump. Nah, just kidding. You can do it pretty much like this. But wait for the gorilla to come to you. Oh, this time it survived 1 shotgun blast. But we've been doing so well, it had to happen eventually. It's fine. Just make sure these fellas do not push you out. That'd be a problem. And they sometimes don't run directly at you, but they sidestep like a crab. The AI is a bit busted. I don't remember this being the case in the originals, but maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Hard to say, right? Okay, so 2 gorillas dealt with. And all we gotta do is make it across to that gap with the large health pack, alright? Ooh, this is honestly making me a bit nervous. We've been doing really well. I wonder what's gonna mess up. Now, let's use this as a shimmying opportunity, because remember in Tomb Raider 1 nor 2 we cannot yet crawl, nor could we through something that tight, honestly. And the moment we climb back up and turn around, we are gonna encounter those 2 floating bats we've seen a while ago when I showed you the aqueduct. Oh, there's one, and there should be another. Okay, seems Lara missed with a couple of shots, but now both of them are down, which is really good. Now, do you see what I mean? The middle of the aqueduct taking us to a completely different adventure? And it's all interconnected. It will make sense a bit later on. This is such a magnificent level. Levels looping in on themselves, I cannot get enough of that stuff. This is where I feel Tomb Raider Chronicles, for example, is really lacking. The levels would sort of be really just a linear progression forward, no looping like this. Okay, but breakaway tiles, yay, all 3 of them. Let's get our hands on the large medpack over here, and now I guess a standing jump should just about do it. We don't want to slide down. If you were to fall down, by the way, you would not die. You would instead find yourself in the cavern with the secret, right? Oh, we managed to catch these breakaway tiles mid-fall. That's interesting. You know what? I really want to take a picture of that. But what's the best angle? Oh, this is good, I think. Yep, absolutely. I've never seen that. Thank you, Photo Mode, for making that a reality. Okay, and down we go. I think there should be a cavern with a crocodile, if I remember. Oh, no, not yet. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We are gonna hear some heart-pumping music, but all because of this one lion, whom we can dispatch easily. By the way, even with pistols, it really is no biggie. But the music's gonna accompany us. Oh yeah, I love it. Okay. Let's get those magnums out, because we have some easy targets over here. 2 gorillas dispatched. Awesome. By the way, in case you're wondering where we are, from the pool area where we started, this is the middle path, the sort of labyrinthine columns ruins. Yep. It can be pretty overwhelming for the first time, but my god, is it rewarding to figure out. Okay. You cannot really jump on these ledges over here. They are too high up, these columns, so make sure not to fall down, or you'll have to backtrack for ages. There'll be a crocodile here, but we've dispatched it. This is what I meant by the cavern with the crocodile a bit earlier on. And now, perhaps even more interestingly, we are soon going to find ourselves on a roof of a giant underground temple. Yep, they packed everything into this level. So, let's get rid of these guys. Again, unless you're doing a no pistols challenge like I am, do not waste magnums on bats. Okay, but there be enemies down there as well, and I almost fell down. That wouldn't be good. I mean, I was holding the walk key. So there are lions and gorillas down here under this roof of the giant underground temple. I'm gonna try and get a good vantage point on these guys, but first let's collect the third lead bar. Okay, that lion should be approaching its expiry date. One woman extinction event, Lara Croft. And for the other one, you know what? I don't want to waste time just waiting around. There is a slippery slope here. Let's use it to our benefit. Okay. And there should be another gorilla coming back soon. That is, if its pathfinding will kick in. But before that, I'm not just gonna wait around. This door, thankfully, of the underground temple opens up automatically. You can pick up the large medbag here. And if you go around, you might be a bit disappointed because it's completely collapsed. Thankfully, one mechanism is intact. Ooh, greenery. This opens up the grate into the palace gardens, which we haven't really explored yet, because there was no reason to. But this way... Okay, that's the one we already heard from the roof, so we had less health. But there should be more gorillas, right? Oh, there they all are. You know what? I'm gonna get our shotgun out. Look at this monkey pandemonium. Why am I thinking of Abe Academy now? Okay, we're doing great with that shotgun. Wow. I think there was only one gorilla we haven't one-shotted with it. Brilliant. This makes me happy. I'm not sure what that says about me. For this, however, and by the way, you have already noticed this through the central columns area, we returned back to the initial pool area, which we were on top of just a while ago fighting the lion, and we've explored the right path, the middle path, and now we are going via the left path, which leads to the palace gardens. See how interconnected it is. And each side is almost like a side dungeon. By side dungeon, I don't mean optional, because you do have to go through them, except for the bottom aqueduct floor, that's entirely optional. But yeah, that's how sprawling this level is. Now, let's unlock an achievement. There we go, take a close look at all ancient time devices. So this is a sundial. If you remember, guys, in the very first level, back when I played it fresh on 15th February and there were no achievement guides, it would seem that the Mayan calendar in the secret with the large health pack was essentially the first time device. Well, the second is here in Palace Midas, so it's an achievement that takes a while to unlock, but my god is it fun. Okay, now there is a lock right over there that will never open, but we can already see some opening in the roof here and a large medpack teasing us, okay? This is not a coincidence, because what we're gonna find here is the myth of Midas becoming a reality. Okay, for comparison's sake, I just gotta do this. This is what it looked like in the original. These stumpy feet, it was really cute and funny. Here they went for a more realistic approach, and you can even see the fingers of the rest of the statue, but I mean, they're not implemented very well. See, they're kind of disappearing in front of our eyes. I feel like this needs a touch-up as well, and maybe those of you who've played the early build of the Epic Game Store version will be able to tell me how this actually looked. But I appreciate a suggestion of more being to the statue. Now, important, do not press forward in action, because Lara will climb this up and she will die. Instead, just press action. This will summon the inventory screen, and this is where Lara the Alchemist will turn lead bars into gold ones. And you will need to do this for all three. That's essentially it. Don't worry, you don't need any lead bars. You're not going to soft lock yourself out of continuing the game or anything like that. And there they are. So, yeah, that's essentially it. And I'm now not sure... Oh yeah, these do not count as pickups as far as I'm aware, because we've pretty much turned a key item into a key item. It's still the same one. And even the game did not increase our pickups count by doing this. Now, if you want the Midas Touch achievement, jump on it, climb on it, and Lara will die. In a very entertaining and unique way. I am going to do it during our Death's Gauntlet after the end of the Let's Play proper, but I highly recommend you save here and do it, but I'm not going to do that to keep our saves count to minimum. Instead, I'm going to keep it towards the level end. By the way, I really appreciate the ceiling here. It looks a bit different than the ones we've seen before, and of course there was nothing in the original, right? Really beautiful. However, there is still a matter of the last secret for us to find behind this grate. It is incredibly generous. It would be a real shame to miss it. And this is really where the action indicators come in handy. Do you see a lever anywhere here? It helps to have the action indicator because you will see an exclamation mark here. You need to press this hidden lever, which I don't know how on earth you would find this if you don't know about it in advance. But there you have it. And in here, the moment you enter, you'll trigger the secret. So, if you'll forgive me, I am finally going to make the first save of the level here, because we've been through quite a lot and I don't want to die here. And our objective is not just to survive this, but also trigger the breakaway tiles. Well, that somehow triggered the tile even if we didn't touch it. Awesome, so you have some leeway. I do recommend a swan dive for this one, not just to show off with a stylish flourish, but because it keeps Lara suspended in the air for a bit longer in the perfect arc. It's less likely her feet will touch that... I don't even know how to call this new kind of trap, but clap trap maybe? Not a Borderlands reference, but that's what I think of when I see it. So again, swan diving for the win. We didn't even get hit by that. You can, by the way, absolutely get hit by it and still survive. It's not an insta-kill. It's just almost always an insta-kill, okay? Alrighty then. And now I think we only need to get one more pickup, correct? And one more kill. If you've been really observant, you'll know that there is one room in the levers and switches, the Omega's symbols, that we have not yet accessed. We haven't opened one door, and that's because there really is no point until you have all 3 golden bars, okay? And that's this one with a bit of a tower, and if you pay really close attention, you'll notice shotgun shells over here. Easier to see in the original graphics, by the way. And the symbols on the door say the first one and the last one. I am Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. That's pretty much it. So, very easy to memorize. Let's climb up. And unlock our way to the last pickup and the last enemy. Okay, I really hope that this video did a justice to why I love this level so much. It's just such a sprawling adventure. Actually, multiple adventures combined into one haul. It is, well, I really want to keep using this word to the minimum, but it is epic, right guys? I'm not the only one who thinks that. Now, let's get that shotgun handy, because there be a lion ambushing us from these stairs, and this guy doesn't mess around. He goes straight for it. He doesn't even go through all the stairs. As soon as he's less than 1 block, at 1 block height, he will immediately jump at Lara. So shotgun is your best friend here, and again remember the shotgun shells. And I seem to remember from playing the PlayStation 1 version of the game via Duck Station, there was a save crystal here at the very end. I guess it is here in case you realize what you need to do, because you don't really know in advance that you need to turn lead bars into gold. And this is it. You will see this room telling you, it's really cute by the way, we need 3 of these. And if you just have lead bars, that's not gonna work. Imagine how disappointed you will be just inputting the lead bars in there and not realizing, hold on a second, this is supposed to be gold. And you know what? No, I can make a better screenshot like this. Yeah, pretty good job. And you can even see these golden scratches in the back. It is really impressive. They did a great job with that. So again, if you try to put a lead bar here, Lara will not insert it. She'll just say no, because she understands what needs to be done. And thankfully, so did we from the beginning of the level, without even accessing this room, because of course, I've played these before. That's a bit of a cheating. But for the first time players, it's more likely that you will first find this room, and then you'll backtrack for the lead bars and try to figure out how to turn them into gold. Okay. Now, with that in mind, we're not going to keep any of these riches. Lara's not going to put them in her treasury in Croft Manor. Instead, we have now opened up a path to the next level, an underground water system. I am going to save here, because I think we did really well, and also use this save file to access unique deaths to this level. But first of all, let's see the final stats screen. And there we are. So, we have found all 3 secrets, all 23 pickups, we have broken all the breakaway tiles, and there you have it, 43 kills in this level. The highest kills of any level in Tomb Raider 1. It's possible one of the unfinished business expansion levels will have more kills, but I have yet to make that comparison. We'll see. I'm interested. And of course, we have also not used any med packs. Wonderful. And we have unlocked the cornerback achievement, Tempered Lara, and the Ancient Time devices. We have one more achievement to unlock, and that's going to pertain to the unique deaths in this level and Midas's touch. So in case you're interested in the achievement and the unique deaths to collect, stick around. In case not, I will see you in another one of my favorites, and that is the Cistern level. Okay, here we are back at the main menu, and using our convenient level end save, we'll be able to backtrack for those deaths specific to Palace Midas. Well, some are, some aren't, but it's, again, for 2 of them, it's the first place where you can encounter them. It's very convenient that we find ourselves in the switch room, because we have already flirted with one of these deaths, and that was the flames, of course. So all we gotta do is get back to the switch room from this point and ensure that only the first switch is pressed, none of the others, okay? And we can essentially turn off the last one, and that should be it. Okay. So let's go down. We can absolutely take some damage. It's just gonna make getting the death easier. Now, we don't really want to cross this threshold because it's going to turn the fires off. So what I'm thinking, to be fair, I've never tried this, but maybe this will work? Ah, perfect. And now we just need to watch Lara burn to a crisp. Oh, and by the way, just a quick reminder, if you let these rats nibble you to death, it will not count as a new death. The devs have forgotten about this one, but don't worry, in the beginning of the next level, we are gonna let rats kill us on ground and that will count. But later about that. And Lara barbecue is ready. I guess this is how Bacon Lara got made. Who's Bacon Lara, you might be thinking? Well, you'll need to be patient before we meet Bacon Lara. But it is going to be the case in this LP. So, that's the first one. And now I'm going to see you guys back in the gardens of Palace Midas, because there are 2 more deaths for us to collect. And as we're approaching the gardens, you probably already know what those 2 deaths are. So first of all, let's check the bloody one out. We swan dive so stylishly across this, but now I would recommend you just walk forward and the claptrap will take care of the rest. Oh, it won't. Interesting. So I think we need to jump into this, like complete buffoons. And there we go, claptrap death is also ours. Now I'm gonna see you guys here back at the gardens yet again, because we did not yet wrap up our business with 1 more death and 1 more achievement. Back for another stroll through the park. Let's ensure we do not forget where the magic happened, okay? Because it's not enough just to turn lead bars into gold. How about turning Lara herself into gold? And this is a sight to behold. Although, to be fair, I did expect her to have more of a shocked expression in the remastered version. But let's watch and let me guys know what you think. Hold forward and then press action. Okay, I do have to take a picture of this. She's not at all shocked. I think we need to fix this manually. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, we cannot when she's in a cutscene like this. Ooh, okay. But we can change outfits? Can we have wetsuit golden Lara even? Whoa. Okay. Well, let's have wetsuit golden Lara then. Can we give her a golden weapon? Ah, one of her guns is golden. I had no idea. Oh, wow. Let's give her golden Uzis then. No, it covers her face. Let's give her golden magnums. And I'm gonna take a picture. This is what happens, Lara, when you try to activate a golden weapons cheat. And you know what? Maybe I'm gonna even roll a little. There, this is making my head spin, to be honest. Why am I doing this? Okay. Tomb Raider 1 Lara trying to use anniversary golden weapons cheat, and this is the punishment. Okay. It's really difficult to move the mouse like this, but there we go. It had to be done. And there she is. Generations of future Tomb Raiders will find Lara's golden statue there. Nah, hopefully they will not. This is not what actually happened, but by doing this, we have received the Midas Touch achievement. Not much of a secret, it's one of Tomb Raider 1's worst kept secrets. Almost everyone knows about this, but in case you didn't, you're welcome. So thank you guys, hopefully you enjoyed my favorite level of Tomb Raider 1 and the Death's Gauntlet. And as I said, I'm gonna see you in another one of my favorites. Many people do not like it, I absolutely love it, because it's again central hub with many side dungeons. I'm gonna see you in Cistern.